My name is Abid. With me is my team, Majid and Khalid, who's busy with Mr. Hafiz. So we are from Mira Developments and Cledor, because we are now kind of sister companies. We are selling together, but today we are here for Mira Developments. Let me quickly give you a brief if you guys do not know about Mira and everything. So now we have done 5 projects here in UAE and 2 projects internationally. We are a very new company, but considering the scale that we are going with, we are not a small company anymore. We have, along with the projects right now we have here, we have taken a land bank of 5 million square feet on Dubai Abu Dhabi border, and we have also taken an island in Ras Al Khaimah, not the Marjan Island, way ahead of it, with Marjan Authority itself, because now Marjan Authority themselves have become a master developer. So we are going to do a multi-branded master community there as well. So totally our land bank stands at 20 million square feet, right? We have land banks in Oman, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and a lot of other places. So if I have to focus in the coming 3 to 5 years, we'll be doing projects in 35 countries internationally. Now, today, the project that internationally I want to discuss with you is called Mira Verde. It's based in Tbilisi, Georgia. Now, before I go into the project itself, I just want to give the fundamentals of Georgia itself, like why Georgia or why Tbilisi. Now, all of you know, right? Georgia, it's a very beautiful place, a very beautiful countries. Right. Now, over the past 3 to 5 years, what has been happening in the country that the capital appreciation, year-on-year growth of capital appreciation has become 20% if you look at the data. The rental yields have been 12 to 15%. Now, why is it happening? Like, why this and why in Georgia specifically? Now, it's in feel and in essence, it looks like it is an European country, but in economics, in fundamentals, it's still an Asian country, right? Why I say so? Because let's look at the demographics. The population is 3.5 million, even lesser than Dubai. The GDP of Georgia is $100 billion. Considering the population such small, it's a very good number. Now, why we do not see it anywhere is because it's a small country and it's not known to the people, or it does not come on the global map, because there are a lot of other countries that have the importance globally. Now, the thing is that this amount of GDP or this amount of wealth is concentrated in top 10, top 20, top 30% of the population, just like any other Asian country, right? The top 10 hold the 50% of the wealth, the top 20 hold the 70%, and the top 30 hold the 90% of the wealth. Now, what happens because of this? The wealth distribution, when it's so not uniform, what happens is basically the development is not seen across the whole country. And usually what it does, what we've seen that the supply gets affected. So now what is happening, the demand is very high, the supply is very low. If you look at Tbilisi particularly, Batumi is still very well established, but if you look at Tbilisi, you do not have massive resorts or hotels. The biggest hotel that I can see myself is the Telegraph Hotel and Radisson Hotel there, right? Nothing big than that. And it's very nearby to the parliament of the country. And even right now, the short-term rentals and the Airbnb that is there in the country, a lot of it takes place in the Soviet times buildings right now. So this shows that the infrastructure is lagging. However, the numbers, the fundamentals that we have seen over the last 3 years, the numbers are very promising. And that's the reason why Eagle Hills, which is kind of subsidiary of MR, us and even the MAC will be going to Georgia. Now, about Georgia, it's a very beautiful country again. The weather is amazing. The weather is fantastic, an all year round destination, and it's very cheap, right? So what happens because of this? We being here in Dubai, or the GCC residents, we have everything here, right? Except the good weather and a good place or a good nature to enjoy. So it becomes a very good proximity for these people to easily escape to the very, very good weather and a very good place, right? Now, also what we have seen basically, if you look at the data, the top 10 nationalities visiting Georgia, we have the Indians, we have Israelis, we have Turkish, Azerbaijan, UAE, we have Iraqis, and we have a lot of other countries as well, which are very nearby to this. Now, these are the top 10 visitors. And if you look at the data, the top 10 visitors to any country across the globe are the top 10 buyers of the country, right? So for us as well, when we see buyers who bought through us are actually UAE residents. We ourselves want to focus with the Dubai brokers because we do not see that as much as strong engagement from the Georgia brokers as much as it's done by Dubai brokers itself. About Georgia, what is happening Georgia politically, that their application for EU candidacy has been accepted. Within 5 to 7 years, probably they will be integrated into European Union, 99% of the chances. And if they are integrated into European Union, everything becomes 5x, 10x in the country, right? And someone having a residency of Georgia, so it's very attractive for the Asian clientele, when you say EU candidacy. And someone having a residency or a permanent residency in this country will get precedence for the citizenship than any other person who will be investing later on. So this is the community, basically a multi-branded community. We'll have brands like Tusardi, Gianfranco Ferre, Bentley, Etro, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, and many other brands to say, right? Currently, we have launched this building, basically Tusardi Residences Tower B. We'll be selling this one first, then we'll have the townhouses, we'll have the villas, mansions, and three more residential buildings, basically, here this side, which we will give a different name later on, depends on the management. Now, in Mira, basically, we always do fully branded, fully furnished, and fully serviced communities, right? And for us, what you see is what you get, basically. These are the amenities that we are offering there: 18-hole golf course, wellness center, luxurious fitness facilities, outdoor sports court, jogging track, cafes and restaurants, branded boutiques, convenience stores, office hubs, European school, kindergarten, and AI-focused university. What is so special about our project here is that we are going to give a net guaranteed return of 8% for 10 years. Earlier it was 3 years, but now we want to focus more, like considering the situation here in Dubai, we want the agents and everyone to focus more and their clients. So we have changed this guarantee to 10 years now, an 8% net guaranteed return. Also in Mira, we are providing a 3-year warranty on the loose furniture, and we give 5 years MLP. Basically, what developers usually give here for 1 year or 2 years, we are giving for 5 years. So any damage basically to your door, to window, to cupboards and everything will be covered for 5 years across all the project in Mira, basically. And talking about the taxation system in Georgia, the taxes are very liberal. Just like Dubai, you have a 5% tax on your rental income. And if you sell your property after 2 years, the capital gains tax is just 0. And if you sell before two years, it's 5%. Registration charges are not as heavy as Dubai, like 4%. It's very nominal, like 1250 or something dirhams, basically. Very nominal charges. Now I'm just going to run around through renders, basically for the Tusardi, how it looks. Again, what you see is what you get: fully furnished, fully serviced, fully branded, a ceiling height of 3.3 meters, and a construction quality that we believe in today's time, once we deliver our first project, that is the Tusardi 1, maybe only selective developers match. We give hotel services like valet, concierge, lobby and everything. That's usually included in the service charge. But if Mira is managing your property, you get the net 8%. You do not need to worry about the rest of the charges. You get in your pocket net 8% annually anyway. So the furniture here in this building particularly that you see basically will be by Tusardi Casa. Tusardi is an Italian brand, a luxury fashion house based in Italy. And the kitchen appliances that we'll be using will be from Miele, the TVs that we'll be using from Loewe, the bathroom fittings that we'll be using from Jesse. So all of these are luxury Italian and German brands. Even the cutlery will be provided. And as I said, 5-star hotel services like concierge, valet, a la carte services, everything is going to be provided in the community. Now, these are the starting prices, starting sizes. The studios start at 642,000 dirhams or $175K. The starting size is 409 square feet. For 1 beds, it's 800, and the starting price $295,000. 2-bedroom, 1161, and the starting price is $466,000. So, to summarize, this is the summary. So 8% guaranteed net ROI for 10 years, 12 to 15% is the short-term rental that I said. We have looked from the data that we are seeing that's happening in Tbilisi. And that's the reason also why we are giving 8%, because we have our expenses, we have as much as, if we did not see that we are going to gain 12 to 15%, we wouldn't have given 8% net ROI. Then 20% is a year-on-year capital growth that has been seen over the last 3 years. Foreign ownership is fully permitted, and there's no inheritance tax. Taxation on rentals, as I said, 5%, and it will be managed completely by Mira Developments. By the way, in Mira, everything is in-house. The cleaning services that we're going to provide in the building, the maintenance service, the everything basically is in-house. We do not hire third-party people. By the way, in Georgia, the residency starts, earlier it was starting at $100,000, now it's starting at $150,000 for 1 year, and $300,000 for 5 years, which is renewable every 1 year or every 5 years, based on which category you choose. So once you do it, you get the resident. Once the handover is done, you become the resident of Georgia. You basically get your card, everything. So your taxation and everything, they're trying to digitize everything. So you do not need to do that, manually go there and pay taxes or anything. No. See, there's two ways you can become basically how you pay the tax. One is your rental income that you are paying the tax. Second is your income from the salaries, the businesses or anything. But that's not something that you're doing. This is the rental income separately. For example, here in Dubai as well, what you do is the rental income is separated from the income that is generated by other sources. So whatever we make from your property, we deduct whatever we have to, and we give you net 8%. Net 8% is taxable. So 5% on your, for example, if you are making 80,000 dirhams or $80,000, so 5% will be applied on that 80,000. So you have to check for your client which country he comes, and you have to check case by case for that, whatever country he is coming from. So if there is a new owner, let's say buyer, and if he wants to continue with us the same 8%, he can continue or he can withdraw. It depends on the new owner. See, for us, this 8% is not just about, just giving away money. It's just we are showing the confidence in the area, basically, because it's a new place. Investors are skeptical of investing in somewhere they have not known. So this is a guarantee from our side that, we are so positive that we are going to give from pocket. Because once we give 8% ROI, or let's say we have said this that we are going to give, we have to register this as a loss in our books, this 8%, without even making this money. So the payment plan that we are offering is 60-40, 10% on the down payment and 10% within month, and then 10%. Just to clarify more, unlike Dubai, what do we do here is basically on 24% we get the uqud. In Georgia, you have the same booking form, the SPA and everything, but your property actually gets registered on the handover, basically. So, or upon the completion, or a fixed defined milestone between the government and the developer, usually. So we are taking it as standard on completion, and it's called land registry, basically. But here, if you have someone who wants to have a flexible payment plan or something, do not tell them that we cannot do. We will be very open to negotiations and everything. So the process, basically the complete property registration takes place on the handover, but you're still protected by the laws, because when you look at an SPA, whatever SPA is between you and us, but it's always approved by the authority of the land, basically. So you're always protected by the contract, right? If let's say you and me as a company, we are dealing together, right? And we made a contract with each other, right? It is because since it was a contract we had done with each other, a court of law or a government body is approved or assigned to look over it once there is a clash or anything between us. So any issues, I mean, the only issue that I think you think in your mind is of the handover, right? I don't think there would be any other issue, right? But there's no escrow, by the way, just to give you clarity, but there are laws that are protected. There is the department called Justice Hall and City Hall that define all the laws that govern the real estate sector. So you are protected by the laws very carefully. And there is an account called Class 45 account where your money from the bank and everything goes. We have set a very decent timeline for the delivery of this project. It's Q4 2028. So I believe like a building that also a 5-floor building, for example, this one, it will be completed very easily under time. I believe so. So they are still digitizing the process, but for example, there are some website. There is a website I remember. I think there is a Georgian website where you can put the code called cadastral code, and you can see that the land what we are putting as a master plan is what Mira Verde is doing basically. So then we can provide you the government Georgian document where it shows the Mira Development as a registered entity, Mira Development as having an account with Bank of Georgia, Mira Development owning this part of land. So this is a 1 bedroom. So if you see the area, the total area and the balcony area is almost even less than 20% of the total area. Let me just quickly show the video that we have. I don't think there is a one, but yeah. So this is the location. So basically this will be the plot location. So we have tried to make the this project, the community, without disturbing the natural landscape. These villas and the mansions that you see, the independent villas, is basically, it belongs to the bureaucrats, politicians and the elites. I usually call it basically the Hollywood Hills of Georgia. Basically, it's very 15 minutes drive from the city if I have to again zoom out a little bit. So you come either from this side or you come either from this side. So you reach, and it's already like there is a Tbilisi Hills residence office. So they are trying to make it a premium community, the government itself. So Verde will be one of the part of this. And eventually this golf course is right now open to tourists and everyone, but eventually they're going to make it exclusively only for the residents of Tbilisi Hills basically. So in the community, you have the city views, you have the mountain views, you have the community itself, city, community and the mountain views. The airport as well that you see is not that far. And Tbilisi is a year-round destination because you have the ski resorts as well and nearby, like 1.5 hour drive. Dubai, we are going to hand over 2 projects this year, Tosadi 1 in Furjan and Bentley Homes in Meda. So we have an in-house construction arm, and we focus a lot on the quality of construction. For example, the ceiling height. It's standard for us 3.3 or more than 3.3. The paint, the textured paint, since we are doing fully furnished residences, right? So we cannot keep the white, normal white paints. Every project. And always Italian brands that we are using, luxury brands. Tbilisi is 6%. It depends. We have a project in Switzerland and the Bentley Villas, we are offering 7%. For the new project, the John Richmond, we are offering 5%. But if an agency closes 3 new units or more, we are offering 6% across all the units.